Malkier was twice the size he should have been, which startled me. He was also considerably harder to beat than usual, which is to say, no. But soon I had defeated him also. And when he died, yet another glitch happened. This happened extremely fast, so I was lucky to get a screen cap of it all. But what happened was a giant Megaera sprite started to shatter and melt. Also, if you look at the garbled text at the right corner of the screen, you'll notice there, there might be a bird in a cage. I really have no idea what this is supposed to mean. At this point, I was about to fight Titanosaurus, and I was worried as to what kind of glitches would happen this time. But to my surprise, Titanosaurus looked just fine. Although all of the games bipedal monsters were in the same height. Titanosaurus was a bit taller, since Titanosaurus was actually taller than Godzilla in his film debut. I thought this was kind of cool. After a very fun fight with the monster that wasn't supposed to be in the game, I took over the enemy base and proceeded not to Jupiter. Proceeded to Jupiter. Wait, what? It's supposed. What? I'm going to Pathos? What? Pathos was the same as Jupiter in layout, except the board was dark blue rather than green. The first thing I noticed was all the usual level icons had been replaced by blue rock and some kind of orange honeycomb shape. There was one icon that had a part of the jungle icon shape, but I didn't pay much th- th- to it. I checked the other side of the board to see the new monster. Instead of Hedorah, it was Biollante? But that could be right. Godzilla vs. Biollante couldn't come out till 1989. This game was made in 1988. Perhaps Toho put Biollante in the game to build excitement for the movie next year, but changed their minds. I tried to rationalize the game's abnormalities any way I could, but this would prove to be futile. Pathos map song was the first new song I've heard in the game. Like most of the new songs, it was hard to describe. I'll try. It started out slow and suspenseful, much slower than any song in the game. But every 12 seconds or so, there will be a loud clashing sound and a tempo change. It was like the composer randomly played parts from 5 different songs with the same instrument. I had forgotten how quick of smashing things as Godzilla wore off. in the scrolling levels, the game bombards you with bullets and things crashing into you from every direction, and you're too big to avoid most of them. Although my excitement had worn down some, it wasn't long before I got to my first boss battle. My first opponent was Gasora, an obscure squid kaiju who had never been in a Godzilla movie. The most annoying thing about Gasora is that he always backs you into a corner and starts smacking you with his tentacle, and you're unable to move until he gets off you. This move doesn't do any damage, but can stall you till the timer runs out, and you have to start the fight all over. And he regains some health. It's annoying as it sounds, and of course, he did it when I fought him. Only for some reason, this caused the game to glitch up, because once he starts attacking me, he never stopped. The timer was supposed to end the fight in about 40 seconds, but this lasted for nearly 5 minutes. After a while, the graphics started to mess up with the little red blocks all over the place, which was weird. But I took the game and blew on it, and then started. I wasn't about to let a little glitch stand in my way, so I started again, and this time I defeated Gazora and levels other boss monsters up here without any problems. So then I was on to the next planet, Mars. I browsed around the board and found something unexpected. There, where Vern's piece should have been, there was instead a piece representing Titanosaurus. There was only 10 kaiju in the game, and Titanosaurus was not one of them. Or so I thought. Perhaps Titanosaurus was originally intended to be in the game. But, I think it was swapped out with Ference for some reason. So I began to feel like very excited. Not only was I playing my favorite game, but I was playing a prototype for some sort of new monster. Needless to say, I ran through the levels as fast as I could to see Titanosaurus in action. I fought Gazor again and beat him before he could do his tentacles smack. But this time, the glitch started happening. When he died, Gazor's sprites didn't sink to the bottom, but instead he seemed to be devoured by the glitch, and his eye is randomly spawning all over the screen. I know these glitches with Gazor were my first warning sign that something very wrong was with this game, but foolishly I ignored and proceeded to fight Ogira, who this time had a glitch of his own. When I was a little kid, the two things I loved most in life were Godzilla and NES games. So naturally, when Godzilla Monsters came out, it was like a dream come true. Well, almost. To sum it up, most of the game revolved around getting through very repetitive outer space levels while smashing up tanks and jets. And then fighting against Godzilla's monster enemies. Overall, it was pretty mediocre. But back then, I didn't care. When I got the game as a present for my 10th birthday, I played it night and day, as much as I could. Unfortunately, I had traded a game for Amagon a year later. Much to my regrets, I found out what the game was like. Recently, I had a NES system, and though a lot of hunting and asking around, my friend Billy managed to find a copy of Godzilla Monster of Monsters. I was pumped to play my favorite childhood game, but it never occurred to me to ask where Billy found it. He also gave it to me. He gave me some other games like Legend of Zelda, Bumman, and some stupid thing called Action 52. But Godzilla had to come first. So I started again. And the nostalgia came flooding back to the like a tidal wave. Godzilla's 8-bit theme song flooded through the speakers. I was soon grinning like an idiot. For some people laughed at me for playing such outdated games. But I've never had as much enjoyment for any games other than those on the NES. Those 8-bit games take me back when things were much simpler, more safe. But after what happened with this game, I don't have those feelings anymore. I just found out that there's a free versus gamer war.